Earlier today Adam22 announced that No Jumper is going broke. They're selling their facility, downsizing the company. And I'm a No Jumper employee, so a lot of you guys was asking me, Flo, we need your take on this, so I'm going to try to make sense out of all of this for you guys. So let's get straight into the video. So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. How could we be going broke? Well, let's start here. We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our Reven news streams all took a hit. We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million, thinking that the growth that we were experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue, and unfortunately, that did not happen. This the price of doing business. You're going to take risk and gamble, and some gambles don't work out, but when you look back, the gamble wasn't a dumb gamble, it was a gamble that actually made sense. No Jumper was doing something that no other hip-hop adjacent channels were doing. Every show on the network was doing like 300 to 200,000 views, literally every show. This is, at the end of the day, these are casted dudes that are no longer here, but yo, you see their views, and it didn't just stop at the end of the day. If you take a look at the No Jumper show, the No Jumper show was also doing 300,000, 200,000 views. So when you get to a point where you have multiple shows, even your third-ranked show, which was disconnected with House Phone Blasey Yori, that was doing over 200,000 views as well during those times, shows that got cancelled were shows that did under 100,000, so you could see where the expectation was and how great them times were. So when you have multiple shows doing over 300,000 views per episode, you have the clips, it makes sense why you would probably get a $5 million facility. It makes sense why you would probably want to expand as fast as No Jumper expand, just like it'll also make sense that the views went down when the cast of two of the three most popular shows on the network, when they all left No Jumper at the same time. Due to personal conflict, we put in our resignation papers. Today we put in our resignation papers. Today, man, it's a new day and age. Yeah, man, we left the fort, man. No more ad at No Jumper, from no more tea rail at No Jumper, no more Jumper, no more do no at No Jumper, no more smack at No Jumper, no more buy. We gone, man. Hey, shame on you. Good, we gone, man. We are gone. We out of here. Shame on you. Out of here, man. And me personally crazy. Right, all this __ told you. See you. Me personally, I feel amazing, man. Yes sir, man. Clap it up for my boy, man. Yeah, no, clap it up for everybody in here, bro. Have it up for you too, bro. And I gotta since he's here too, I got to salute my brother T, bro. Essentially, that was the beginning of where we're currently at, making the announcement that No Jumper's going broke. When you buy the $5 million facility, when you invest certain things into the facility, because the outpour of content is up here, because you have like multiple hosts, the fans care about you, have multiple shows that are hit shows, you have the news that's going live every day, you have something, that's producing high volume content, that's producing really well, but once you take out all the host and you take out a huge chunk of the shows, and you can't really produce that much content anymore, then you start to realize where the losses is coming in. Our YouTube numbers, which had doubled or even tripled, gradually returned to normal. Our Snapchat and Facebook numbers, which had exploded during COVID, sometimes even hitting 6 figures a month, shrank by about 80% or more. Our Patreon, which was absolutely killing it for a year or two when we were doing uncensored aka nude interviews with Upand coming superstars like Kazumi and Sky Bree, fell off quite a bit with the launch of Plug Talk and a decreased interest in seeing us interview stars. In addition to that, you might recall that the channel took quite a hit when approximately 8 of our hosts left the platform in March of 2023, although we've definitely largely recovered and managed to build up a very healthy roster of talent since then. That certainly took a toll on our business for a while as well. The host leaving was a big deal, but it's the way they left that was a bigger deal. They left like it was tumultuous times, right? They were sort of pitting himself against No Jumper because they left, because Ad felt like he was betrayed by Adam. Ad felt like Adam, I guess, texting Lush and Josh that Ad only has 4 jokes that he wanted to remove Ad from off the show without talking to Ad first. And then Lush essentially spilled the beans in the ORD, and the fans knew about it before Ad, so Ad felt like, how for the fans knowing that I'm being fired from this particular show before I knew I was being fired was wrong, so he left. So when he left essentially on the terms of No Jumper did me wrong. So once you leave on those terms, you know what that does that force the fans to say you got to pick a side, so you see no jumper lost like 20,000+, you know? Subscribers within the first like week. When the 8 host left, you know you seen views tank, you seen dislikes go up, so when they leave a lot of those fans who left the 20,000, those were very active watchers and subscribers, so once they leave, yes, some may come back, but some may never resubscribe, so you have to take that loss. And I feel like, yeah, you know, the hosts leaving is one thing, but how they left was the bigger story. And me and Adam, we done bumped heads a million times, but every time I'm say, hey, bro, you my brother, I'm looking at like a brother, right? You're my brother. If you wrong, I'm going tell you wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. It's a revolving door, it's not one-sided. And a lot of times, like, I know for me personally, I know it just felt one-sided. It's like, yeah, you could tell us when we wrong, but when you wrong, it's like I ain't got to say no, it's not, I'm like, bro, it don't work like that. Depending on who you ask though, there's different perspective. Adam would say that, you know, the views were already heading back down to normal, so them leaving just at some point accelerated that, but no jumper was never able to really go back to, you know, the pandemic viewership. You know, they went back to normal numbers, and there was always waves. Like, I remember about like 10 months ago, Adam laid off a bunch of people, you know, he ended the no jumper news and essentially, you know, got rid of about like 10 hosts who were doing the no jumper news recurring and getting paid. Anyway, Snapchat exclusive, I'm making some very big changes in terms of no jumper as of today, or as of tomorrow. The news, no jumper news, it's over. The Monday show, the Wednesday show, and the Thursday show also are over. I've decided that I really want to focus no jumper, so I will be continuing to do the Tuesday show with Lush and Brig Baby. I will continue to do as many interviews as is possible. I'm going to have other people on the platform continuing to do interviews. Everybody from, you know, Almighty Sharp, Brick, I just talked to all these guys, Flo, we're still going to work together on doing interviews and, you know, doing like repeat guest type interviews where I, you know, have people on multiple times to talk about different things that are going on in the news, everything like that. But this decision has really been brought on primarily, I guess, as a business decision. And I say that to say I've been talking about Business Manager a lot over the course of the past few weeks, taking a real deep dive into how the channel is doing. If you've been paying attention, I guess, like the news today don't really shock you, because you know, you already know that this was common based on, you know, the layoffs from 10 months ago, also to the challenges of laying off so many people as you produce less content, but you know that the bills are still the same, so produce less content, but the revenue, you know, still has to be up there. And you know, the cheat code to producing more revenue is more content, but to prod more content, you need to hire more hosts, but you have to pay those hosts, so essentially you have to find a balance to where you hire the right amount of hosts that can produce, you know, enough views with the content they're putting out to bring in a revenue needed, right? You know, and so far it looks like Adam hasn't found that particular balance within itself, which is why the downsizing is currently going on now. Another challenge is the no jumper Instagram. All that stuff hurt the business, but we were still solidly profitable. That is until the last few months, where we experienced two major L's that we never could have seen coming. First, we lost the no jumper Instagram after almost 10 years of building it up, and essentially no strikes on our account. We got taken down one day, and we still have absolutely no idea why we've had no luck getting it back, despite being in contact with what seems like every Instagram recovery guy on the face of the planet. We were bringing in a very solid amount of cash monthly that was keeping us afloat via selling sponsored posts on the account, and that mostly vanished overnight. And while we've been growing the new no jumper law account up ever since, and managing to sell sponsored collab post using my Instagram and the no jumper law account, DM or email if interested, we aren't making anywhere near as much from Instagram now. Side note, if you're a Meta rep, please DM me. I would love to speak to anyone who could help with this. The no jumper Instagram mystery is one of the biggest mysteries on the internet right now, bro. So no jumper got his Instagram taken away. Now I'm part of the social media team, so I can tell you, no jumper never had a strike. Things don't get taken down. We had no copyright violations, nothing at all. Everything was still up and perfectly running fine. But then one day the Instagram goes away. Now there's a lot of things that could attribute to it, right? As you guys know, you know, like the unlocked guy who was doing the Instagram recovery team, he did an interview on no jumper. Him and Adam got into it. You know, he threatened to take away the Instagram, but then the feds picked them up. So we thought, mean the Instagram is good now, right? But no, it still got deleted. Now here's the thing. Though usually you can just contact a Meta and get the account back through one of these like recovery guys, but when you contact these guys I'm talking about, the dudes who are at the very top who get back everybody accounts, when you contact these guys they say specifically, there's a note on this account that it can never be recovered. If I recover it, is going to trigger something in the system to where a review is going to happen and they're going to know I did it, so I'm not trying to risk my job. I can't do it, so this is what we're dealing with here, bro. Like this is like, yo, this is insane. This is insane, bro. Somebody at the very top of Instagram went out of their way to say, hey bro, there's a literal note on the account. This can never be recovered. This is permanently banned for life. We're trying to figure out who and what. Looks like No Jumper got some powerful enemies, bro, but that Instagram money was different. No Jumper was charging like $100 per post, bro, and you send about 4 promo posts a day on No Jumper, so that money was different. You take away that money, bro, to a company is kind of crazy. And second, in addition to that, we have been hit with a ___ lawsuit from a former employee. Now essentially everything in this lawsuit is completely fictional, and every lawyer that I've spoken to about it has described this as basically an extortion attempt, but it still cost us a ton of money already, and it's expected to cost us many hundreds of thousands of dollars to see this through to completion. It's insane to me that a person that we did so much for can just invent some grievances out of thin air and cost us this much money as a result. This person has literally lost every single friend that he used to have when he worked at No Jumper. His streaming career has completely tanked, and he even got kicked off the podcast that he left No Jumper to start. But somehow that's our reality, and we have to fight this rather than just given this piece of the employee who sued No Jumper was this guy called Yuri. Now this is like the betrayal of the century. This is like E2 brute, like this is some scandalous stuff. So Yuri was essentially Adam's proto, right? Somebody who Adam molded into a content creator who started off as somebody who was just hanging around the office, eventually got a job as an editor, and he sort of worked his way up and used No Jumper as kind of like a trampoline to get into his own thing. So Yui left No Jumper. Initially he left No Jumper because he did like a 30-day live stream, like a subathon, and he made like $20,000 to $30,000. So he thought he wanted to put more attention into his streams, right? He wanted to put more into his streams, so he left No Jumper for that reason. But then after he left No Jumper, I guess things didn't work out, so he decided he wanted to sue No Jumper. Now him and his girlfriend both worked at No Jumper around the same time, but he left before her, but eventually she got fired. You know, cause again the layoffs to many employees once they both got fired. Now you know they decided they wanted to sue No Jumper for whatever reason. Yuri would claim that he quit No Jumper because he could no longer tolerate the harassment, discrimination, and retaliation. It feels like a money grab, and honestly why I can't respect it. Again, he's not suing me, right? I'm not in that lawsuit because I avoided everybody bro when him and his girlfriend was working there, bro. If I'm in the room with other people and she's there and they left, I'm leaving the room too. I'm not staying in no room alone with a woman in this industry, bro. Not happen. I'm protecting myself, feel me? But it's not just her, cause she's always been kind. It was with all women, so I protected myself, so I'm not in this lawsuit, right? I'll make sure to have very limited in like interaction with most people, alright? So I'm not here, but this to me is a money grab. They probably won't win anything, you know, but having to spend money on lawyers and drag this out is not something you really want to do in this climate, right? Especially when business is not the most profitable at the moment. But you know, No Jumper has also, you know, admitted they also have had to deal with other lawsuits in the past, you know, when they did indeed have the Instagram, you know, and they would repost certain things. Ambulance chasers would claim that this was their content. They want to sue No Jumper for reposting it. It was just a whole mess, alright? So right now, I don't feel like No Jumper is currently in a bad space. I feel like downsides in the office will definitely help. Downsides in the cast, right? Keeping you know a core group producing the content. You feel me? And yeah, I seen a lot of people talk about, oh my god, the hosts are going to have to fight for unemployment. Listen here, bro. Alright, listen here, bro. Okay, I don't feel like any No Jumper host, all right, bro. Most of the hosts who are currently on No Jumper like they have a lot going on outside of No Jumper. Like these aren't people who, you know, they pay their rent off of No Jumper. Checks you feel me right like no right. Like these people have their own thing going on, their own businesses, their own everything, so for those people they not really relying on no jumper checks to pay their bills, right? So I don't feel like this will really affect any of the employees, y'all know, right? Like myself, suspect lush, like this ain't really you no affecting us at all, to be honest. Bro, like right, like feel me right bro, I would do, listen bro, I would do no jumper for free if I was you, feel me right, like I would do it for free, right? Like, but like that's how much value I see in no jumper, right bro? I was doing, bro, I moved to LA to do no jumper for free, right? I literally moved here to do no jumper for free, and then I was off for a contract when I was at my lowest, and no jumper gave me something that was really great, and I grew with the company, and now I'm currently in a position where I employ other people myself. So yeah man, you know, this really don't really change anything. Will still be there, I'll still be there, you feel me? Rather it's I'm being paid $500K a year or I'm being paid dollars a year, you feel me? I'm here, you feel me? You know, those my guys, I'm rocking out man. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this all? Right, how do you guys think no jumper got here? Okay.